My dear brothers and sisters, today's title is If We Lose Faith in God. Meditation with John chapter 15 verse 5 I am the vine, you are the branches. If a man remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me you can do nothing. Karl Marx, a 17-year-old young man, wrote a thesis that when he graduated high school. The title is The Union of Believers with Christ according to John 15, 1-14, showing its basis and essence, its absolute necessity, and its effects. It is about that there must be unity with Christ who is a higher truth and light, because there is riot, superstition, selfishness of unbelievers. The parable of the vine in John 15 tells us that if we are attached to Jesus Christ who is the vine tree, we bear fruit, but we who is the branch cannot do anything apart from him. This parable teaches us about not human-centered but God-centered belief. Human beings' efficient work is only a union with Christ. If Marx chose this text for his thesis, then he also might have a Jesus Christ-centered belief. If Marx chose this text for his thesis, then he also might have a Jesus Christ-centered belief. But later he became an atheist, a materialist, and a social activist in pursuit of utopia through a class strife. We can see that his ideas have been thoroughly transformed from God-centered to human-centered. This change also manifests in his thinking about the early Christian community in Acts chapter 2. It was the strong work of the Holy Spirit on the day of Pentecost that the early Christian community made a beautiful community without distinction between yours and mine. As a result, members of the church voluntarily share their things to others. Marx, however, could not wait for the Holy Spirit's work because human beings don't know when the Holy Spirit works like the day of Pentecost. He cannot wait for selfish people to voluntarily share. Therefore he insists that we must achieve a communist society through an active class strife. We can see through the young Marx, if we lose our trust in God's existence, personality and domination, we easily become humanistic, artificial, and even violent. Under the influence of Marxism, Lenin, who achieved the Soviet Communist Party through the revolution, also studied theology. And Kim Il-sung, who established the North Korea Communist Party, grew up in a devout Christian family. We must always look back on ourselves. If we do not strongly stand on the faith in God, we fall into thoroughly human-centered and artificial humanism. John chapter 15 verse 5 I am the vine, you are the branches. If a man remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me you can do nothing.